see what the next question is. Oh, this one is not easy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This one is, how do you say no or I don't know if we really don't know the answer to the question? So probably I'll start, and this is how we will do it. We'll just take turns. So I'll pick a question and then I'll answer first, and then later Zhu will pick the question and then Zhu will also answer. But again, this is a conversation, so as and when we can feel free to chip in. I think for me, the toughest bit is I don't mind saying I don't know, because mindset-wise, I don't see it as diminishing my subject matter expertise. Because if I really do not know, let's say, a position of the law, or I do not know a position of the latest research in public speaking, if I don't know, I say I don't know. The last thing I want to do is to misrepresent and then just simply tell you something. In the past, maybe in my debate days, younger days, when I was just 13 or 14, there's a famous saying that if you cannot convince, then you try and confuse. But later, when you grow up and you go into adulthood, you realize that it's not just the reputation, but it's the trust. And the moment the trust is broken, it's very hard to mend, it's very hard to repair. So for people to trust you as a subject matter expert, they are also comfortable in knowing that if you don't know, you say that you don't know. Now let's go to the tougher bit, which is how to say no. For me, I find it quite difficult, because I myself, I would say I'm more of a harmonizer. I like things to be in harmony. I don't really enjoy conflict. So when I do see conflict, it's like up to me to really have to go and resolve it. And when people ask me to do certain things, sometimes I find it very difficult to say no. So let me share with you an example. After 2016, when I won the World Championship of Public Speaking, we get a lot of invites, and we are very thankful for that, whether it's in terms of videos, in terms of thank you messages, letters, newsletter contribution, or flying down to a particular country to give value for free, which I did a lot. In 2017, went to 18 different countries within just 6 months. So that was something, and we did a lot of free engagement. I'm always for giving back to the community. But of course, there comes a point in time where you know that there's only that much that you can give, because you have only 24 hours. I'm not alone. I have a family to take care of as well. And then we also have a business and our clients to take care of. So it's really the management of the time. Therefore, when we get overwhelming requests for perhaps a recording or overwhelming requests for a thank you message, what we could politely then say, would be to say perhaps next time round, or we have a certain quota. Initially, I found it quite hard to say no, because saying no means that you totally don't want to have any relationship. But then I realized one of the best ways to say no is to first and foremost acknowledge that the other party sincerely wishes you to give value. Thank the other party for that vote of confidence. And after which, don't just give a no. I find it very useful when you give a good enough reason to back up why you have to politely decline. So when we give a very strong reason, that I feel it's one that it shows respect to the other party. One of my friends told me that the last thing that they want to see is totally no reply at all. So we make it a point at least to reply, even if it's a nil, no, not applicable, we will still say so, and then we give a strong reason. One final example I want to share was last year, I had about 2 requests for, no, not last year, 2 years ago, I had a coaching request to help a WCPS, which is the World Championship of Public Speaking semi-finalist. That was 2 years ago, but I had to politely decline from this for this client in another country, because I was coaching another client already. So this, I have to say no. It's not a matter of time, it's a matter of principle, where if I coach one person, my loyalty is with the one person until the person finishes the contest season. Because otherwise there would be potentially a conflict of interest. Who should I help if both advances into the grand final? So this is a position that I wouldn't want to go into, but I have to explain that. And the particular person respected me for that, for explaining why we don't want to be in conflict of position. And next time, if I do coach this person, they can be assured that it's 100% loyalty to this person until the contest season ends. So that's my take on how to say no, giving a strong enough reason. Yeah, that I find it more difficult than the I don't know. What do you think, bro?
I agree. I think no and I don't know are 2 very difficult situations. The experience of, it reminds me of back when I was arguing cases in court, and you can't say I don't know to the judge because the judge doesn't let you go away in a court case. So most of the time during our training phase, we were actually taught how to not so much politely decline the question, but either reframe the question, clarify the question, or buy ourselves some time, because most of the time it's not really a case that I don't know, but I don't know at that point in time. I just need some time to maybe check on something, do a bit of research, move away from the stressful situation, and I'll be able to come up with a response. So yeah, I definitely agree that I think acknowledging is very important, acknowledging the importance of the question. So I think people, when they ask you a question, it's not just for fun, it's not just to disturb you or to annoy you, I hope, at least I hope. And I think acknowledging that goes a long way to showing that you're quite sincere in trying to answer. It's just that you genuinely are unable to respond at that point in time. I think giving a reason is also very important. A lot of people actually don't believe in that honesty because they feel like showing that it's a bit of being vulnerable or being a bit weak in that sense. But I actually think it's the reverse. It's actually quite a strong ability to just state very clearly, like your example, just stating very clearly that, oh, this is the reason why I'm unable to coach you or assist you for this assignment. I think that's one thing that's very important, which is being very clear. So even in our court cases last time, or when we did mooting competitions last time, my coaches would teach me that if you don't know an answer, you can still say I don't know, but you need to state very clearly why is it that you're not aware of. Either you're not aware of the case, you're not aware of the facts, and it's something that does not directly apply to your arguments, for example. Allowing yourself to give that reason, I think it goes quite a long way to show the other party that it's not that I'm trying to escape. It's just that if I really force myself to give an answer, it's not going to be an accurate answer, and that's not going to be valuable for you. And I think the other side would appreciate that. I would also add a last point, which is that I think you can also show commitment in a sense that if you're unable to answer at that point in time, because I don't know situation, just telling the other party that, look, give me maybe two days, I'll be able to come back to you with a response, especially in a high stress environment. Because I remember I had one coaching client before who, one of the issues she highlighted to me was she felt very stressful in business meetings. So she was a founder of her own company, and she felt very stressful in her business meetings because she felt like different people would throw all these different business terms like joint venture, merger, all this share, equity share. She wasn't very sure at that point in time, and she said she felt very pressured to respond or agree to the scenario. So one of the things that she found quite useful was just being able to take a pause at that point of time, acknowledge the question, and then she would actually commit to it. So something that's very important like that, she will highlight, for example, that I see that this question is actually quite an important thing to both of us. I will not be able to provide an accurate answer in such a short period of time. How about I get back to you in about 2 days with the specific proposal that we may have on our end after I discuss with my partners and all. So I think that's another way to show that you're committed to answering the question. Or I don't know. I would say saying no is the most difficult part. Because at the end of the day, the no is still like, you're not shutting the door, you're still leaving the door open. But my final point on this is that I think knowing exactly what you can commit to, what you can answer, that's still a very important responsibility as a speaker. Just because you're a speaker or communicator doesn't mean that you have to respond to every question. There are some things that are really beyond our expertise, and for us, even we have had a request for training that we know that this is not something that is within our area of training, and we would have to politely decline. And we will explain to them as well that this may be something that you may need another expert or someone that is more relevant to take that assignment.
Correct.
No is difficult.
I love the point about, like, for example, making a commitment to find out for you, especially if you don't know, because this really shows that we are following up. And I think also part of our line of work, part of customer service as well. There are certain things which we really don't know, like for example, COVID-19 right now, how it's going to be in the next few months. So we don't know, we really have to say we don't know, but we will find out for you if it's something that we can do, if it's like a corporate engagement, if it's something we can do for this class size. So we don't know, but we find out. So that's, I agree with Zubro too, that it's customer service, good customer service, that we follow up with you, even on information that we currently don't have. So amazing. So thank you for the 2 questions. They are really questions that really get us to also share our experiences and get us to think about the times that we had to grow and stuff. So
I was thinking like we can actually apply the techniques to say no, I don't know to this question.
I think maybe we can ask our clients for our next Hospitality Out Without the VCCP clients when they do impromptu speech or something. How would you answer this question?